Hello, all you acrobats watching this, hopefully. Anyway, this is going to be a video, hopefully, to go from the very beginning of learning to backflip to the very top experts, techniques or whatever that I know myself. I don't know everything, but this is everything everything I know that I can put forward. Okay, so starting from the very beginning. Making sure we are safe and we don't push ourselves too much, because doing a backflip straight off, if you can't do one or you haven't practiced one at all, it's going to be quite dangerous. Anyway, so first things first, a good thing for being able to do a backflip is flexibility. I know it's boring, but it's important. Okay, so main things are going to be shoulder flexibility. So simple things like pushing your shoulders down, fingers together, and getting them past. You're probably going to need them at least past your ears. So if you can't do that, then maybe you want to do some flexibility training. Maybe another one is arching, arms together, pushing forward, anything like that. But yeah, so where I started, I was about 3 when I taught myself this. But to get to the backflip, we can't go straight into a backflip, obviously, especially if we're going to do it by ourselves. And obviously, you need to do it as safe as possible. So the first prerequisite is a macaco, which is a Brazilian move. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit just on our bum, tuck our legs in, and we're going to take our weight onto our heels and our back arm. Okay, the arm that you put down is dependent on which way you spin. I like spinning to my left, so I put my left arm down. If you like spinning to your right, put your right down. Okay, and so what we're going to do from here, we're going to turn our fingers to point towards ourselves in a anti-clockwise manner. Okay, so not clockwise and put it like this, otherwise you're going to buckle. Your arm is very unstable. That's the reason why we put our fingers towards us, so it's very stable, because it doesn't bend that way. Okay, so anyway, fingers as much as you can towards you, or as comfortable, don't want them too far. Okay, and then we're just going to sit. Okay, and the next thing, we're going to use our other arm to swing up and basically thrust our hips forward as well. And basically what we're doing is trying to get a momentum to push ourselves over in sort of a cockeyed sort of backflip motion. Okay, so just a little example. And also we're going to want to land on the same sided leg as our arm. So I'm putting my left arm down, so I want to land on my left leg. So nice a little one. So swinging the arm, thrusting the hips, and step. Very easy. Okay, so there we can start to progress it to get higher and higher. So what we're going to start doing is getting more thrust, more swing with our arm. We're going to swing it up and try and go more of a higher angle. Okay, so like that. Okay, so another good thing to think of is you're always going to put a lot of weight onto this shoulder. So you want to keep it nice and strong. And another good tip is when you're practicing, if you can do it, lift that leg off the floor. And as you're swinging, that causes you to keep that leg up and land on it. Rather, a common mistake is to try and push with this leg and twist, basically, like that, because it's easier. And that's not what we want to do, because that's starting to twist your body, and basically we're going to try and go from here to here, and it's bad if we're bringing this leg around and trying to twist it. So from that, try and get higher and higher. Don't think you're going to get it in the first day. Some might, some won't. Just be patient with it. Good thing with practicing these sort of things is if you take a day off, 2 days, when you come back to it, you'll find that it's improved dramatically, because your brain has had time to compute it. So again, I'll go through a few different steps. I'll try and get higher and higher, and then we'll go to the next thing. So start with nice, easy, little step. Bring it back. Swinging this arm, thrusting the hips, pushing over, getting high as you can. Keep that arm straight, get a lot of pressure on it. Okay, then eventually what you're going to try to work towards is getting right over. So, pull them back, even trying to get your right arm down. Okay, and then another good thing, once you get towards almost straight over, good thing to think of is try and keep your arm that's not on the floor, so my right arm, on the right side of your head, and that keeps you straight, and you're going to go straight over rather than round to the side, which is what we're going to work towards. So just keeping this arm on my right hand side, swinging up, thrusting the hips, propping it down and letting your legs fall. Good. Okay, so the next progression is pretty much the same thing, except you're going to take your arms away from the floor to start with. Okay, so start squatted, and then what you're going to do is maybe a little bounce just to help you get into it. So down, swing your arm back, then do exactly what you've been doing. So for example, just like that. As you get more and more confident, you can delay the arm even more, and then start to put it further and further back. For example, okay? And this is what I did for a few months, I suppose, until I was getting straight over. Basically, this is a good way to build your confidence up rather than going straight over the back of your head, because it is a very unusual movement, I suppose, that the human brain doesn't really like. So this is a good way to get it used to it before you just chuck yourself backwards. Okay, so as we get that delay even more, so we're going down. Okay, and now what you're going to do is start getting that hand down at the same time, and then you're going to eventually be able to go straight backwards, get both arms at the same time. Okay, so just a few more examples from this to this to this, and then finally to that. Okay, so that is the back handspring, the prerequisite for the backflip. Okay, so to progress from there, what we're going to do is we're going to start to add more height. Because you're now comfortable with going over your head and going straight backwards, which you should be by now, you're going to start delaying it even more. I've also made another video with all the different fundamental techniques which will be good for helping for this, so if you want to watch that as well, that'd be good. I'll put that into the description below. But yeah, so delaying this back handspring even more now. This again it's a technique to get yourself confident with a back flip or a back somersault, but essentially it's not going to be the same technique. This is again more of a confidence builder, and you'll see why in a bit. So to start with, so obviously going back to where we were, the back handspring. Okay, and now we're going to add more height. So we're going to try and delay our hands hitting the floor, like so. Okay, and what we're going to do with that is try and get higher and higher, and then you're going to try and get your feet round before your hands do. Okay, so if you've got a mat or anything, or something soft, it's going to be a lot better for you if you don't land on your knees or anything like that. If you do land on your knees, sorry. So, for example, okay, see how I'm delaying it even more? Then when we get to the point where you think you're getting enough height, start to tuck rather than having your arms behind you. So if you start to tuck, it's going to spin you faster and get your feet down quicker. Okay, so for example, okay, so I did a little tuck there. And then what you want to do is start getting that tuck tighter and tighter. Okay, so the tighter is, the faster you rotate. So now, hopefully you are able to do a backflip. However, the technique that I've just been using is not brilliant, but it is good for progressing to get to this stage where you're confident with yourself to get over back over the back of your head. Okay, so now we need to start to adjust it to make it perfect. So if you've watched that video that I put in the link, basically we're going to use the blocking and tucking together and delaying as well. So basically what we're going to do is, instead of throwing back and just tucking, now what we want to do is we're going to jump straight up, or not straight up, sorry, just with a slight angle. So as our body jumps up, so these are my legs, when we tuck, that is what is going to take us over. Okay, that force with our knees coming into our chest, that is going to create the force to start the rotation. Okay, so we're not jumping backwards, we're jumping pretty much up with a slight angle, and when we bring our knees in, that is what will take us over, and then we're going to untuck to let our feet nicely, hopefully, drop to the floor and land on our feet. Also, the delay is basically, we want to try and delay the tuck until we're at the peak. Okay, it is scary. It's probably the final tip or whatever to get a perfect backflip. Okay, so the delay is one of the most important things towards the end. Don't try and delay it as much until you are very comfortable and you think you've got a very decent backflip. So I'll give you a few examples. So what we're going to do is start with our feet nice and comfortable, straddle width apart. And we're going to use our arms. We're going to swing our arms up. We're going to make that big shape. Okay, and we're going to stretch out again with that slight lean. When we've got that slight lean and we're at the peak, we're going to bring our knees in, and that's what's going to take us over. Okay, so a little example. Okay, so you saw how I stretch up, nice big shape, knees come in to my chest, that starts the rotation, open out, slows the rotation, feet come down. Okay, I'll give you one more example. Excellent. So, little recap. Start small. Don't go for the big things until you're very comfortable. Sorry about that, camera died. So yes, start small. Don't get overconfident. Be safe with it. Basically, make sure you're comfortable with the prerequisites before you move on. So start with the macaco. Starting low, just get that step round. Make sure you're on the right leg. Make sure you've got the shoulder nice and stable. Start working on getting higher and higher. Get the arm on the right side of your head until you're going straight over backwards. Start to delay the hands even more. Get that tuck starting. Progress, progress, progress until you're getting a backflip without your hands, regardless of the technique. Then when you're comfortable with that, that's when you can start really pushing it. Getting that height. The height, the delay, the tuck, and the opening out. Okay, the most important things. I suppose that's it, really. Any questions, I'll try and answer them in the comments. But yeah, good luck, and I hope you get the backflip.